correct or just clarify something there. At the last election, the Liberals were for net zero. Labor was for net zero. That wasn't the debate. The debate was whether the government should spend what a Liberal government should spend what Labor falsely claimed would be $600 billion on nuclear reactors. That was what that issue was, plus the general hopelessness of the Liberal campaign. So it wasn't about net zero. I'm talking about net zero.
Well, I think that for 3.5 years, Michael, yourself, all of the Liberal Party and the National Party ran a campaign on not lowering, Labor hadn't lowered energy prices. And I repeat, it had zero effect. In fact, the party suffered its worst defeat in its history. So attempting to recreate a policy debate around electricity when the Liberals don't have an alternative, can't say when they're going to lower prices, and are terrified to say that they're going to build more coal-fired power stations.
All right, so your argument is Labor's not in trouble. Labor's not in trouble.
No.
Okay, all right, we'll see. We'll see. When Labor changes the policy, we'll see what you say
Andrew,
then.
The Liberal Party's position is actually exactly the same as Chris Minns. We need to make sure that we get the baseload power continuing. And just like Chris Minns has already done, where he's kept the life of a power station going and is open to discussing it again. And that's what Chris Foley's doing. I mean, you like to say, they're backing coal in, therefore. Nobody is going to invest in these coal-fired power stations. Well, not new ones, and no one's prepared to pay the maintenance to keep them upgraded. So the Liberal Party position is this simple. We want to keep the coal-powered power stations going just a little bit longer than Labor.
Please.
There's no red herrings. That's the Liberal Party's position.
You can't invest in coal when you have governments determined to run policies to close the coal-fired power station. That is a very poor investment choice. It's determined by government policy. Now, Michael, less good news, I think it's been totally oversold, is this new poll in Victoria, where Jess Wilson, the new 35-year-old leader, who looks fresh-faced, great, this poll said, this is wonderful. She's the preferred premier by even more than Brad Batten, the former opposition leader, was until he was toppled a couple of months ago. Streets ahead of the premier. People are saying it's time for change, blah, 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 fantastic. Except bottom line was, the poll said 50-50. Party to party, it was 50-50 after preferences, when Brad Batten in the same poll a couple of weeks ago was ahead, 51-49. That's not good.
Well, look, I sort of tend to agree with you there, to be honest. I've never regarded the preferred leader poll as the important poll, because the preferred leader is factored into the two-party preferred vote. So they know who the leaders are. So after working out who the leader is, they then decide who they want to vote for. So the poll at the minute is 50-50. Jess has only been there a couple of weeks. She is very, very formidable, as people will see in the next few months. You've got someone with a very clear and good understanding of economics. I mean, debt in Victoria, gross debt is going to approach 300 billion. Andrew, the joint is bankrupt, right? The joint's bankrupt. They're going to need someone with some economic expertise, and that's what Jess Wilson's got in spades. She's the most economically literate leader in Victoria for a generation, since Alan Stockdale was treasurer probably. So that all goes well for her polls to go up, and people will get, and the more they hear from her, the more confident they're going to get in her that she knows what she's doing, and she's got a pretty good team around her. Her personal friendships around the Liberal Party that she will rely on, to get in closed meetings to see what they think. She's got very good people around her. Her husband's an outstanding intellect. She's very close, obviously, to James Patterson.
No,
Lydia
look,
Patterson works for
Michael.
her. These people are very... So, Andrew, she's just started. She's been there 5 minutes. So she's got a very good team around her.
Stephen, early days, margin of error, all that kind of thing. She's got to get her feet under the table. I've got to say, though, that she's been campaigning a lot in talking to economic groups, businesses and all that. But I would suggest to her the election's going to be won not in the boardrooms of Victoria, but in the suburbs and the outer suburbs. What do you say?
Well, I think, look, if I was her, I'd be pleased with a poll like that after a few weeks in the job. I think it's a good, solid foundation. As you heard me say a number of times, I think she is formidable. She's tough, she's smart, and she presents well. I mean, Andrew, I think I've said to you that once the Liberal Party found someone who could read, write, not dribble on camera, they begin to be competitive. And Jess is far better than that. So I think you're starting to see there'll be a bit more competition. But you've got to look at what Jacinta Allen's doing. Jacinta Allen's already made enormous shifts on law and order. Enormous, to the surprise of everybody. Yeah, but that was
Brad Batten that forced her to do that. That was Brad Batten that forced her to do that. I'm not saying they made a mistake, but I'm saying she's going to have to take the campaign out into working Australia, I think. Michael Kroger, Stephen Conroy, thank you very much to you both.